Thailand. For decades, it's been sold as this vibrant, welcoming paradise for LGBTQ+ travelers in Asia. I mean, it's practically synonymous with acceptance. But is the reality on the ground actually as perfect as the postcards make it seem? Today, we're diving deep into the massive contradiction at the heart of Thailand's multi-billion-dollar queer tourism industry.
So on one side, you have this global image, right? Thailand as a leader, a vanguard of acceptance in the region. But then you pull back the curtain and you see a totally different picture, a reality of institutionalized discrimination, where the laws just haven't kept pace with the brand. And that is the core conflict we're exploring.
And this is exactly what we're calling Thailand's Paradise Paradox. In this explainer, we're going to really dissect this fascinating gap between the powerful, welcoming image that brings in so much money and the complicated legal and social reality that both tourists and the local LGBTQ+ community have to navigate.
To really get why this is such a big deal, you have to follow the money. Tourism is one of the main pillars of the Thai economy. And believe me, the LGBTQ+ market isn't some small niche. It's an absolute goldmine.
Just look at this number. The World Tourism Organization estimates that LGBTQ+ tourists contribute somewhere between 10 and 17% of total tourist revenue. I mean, that is a massive, massive economic driver that no government or business can afford to ignore.
And this really shows you just how established this whole market is. We're talking about a country that consistently ranks as a top 3 global destination for queer travelers. This isn't some new fad. It's a vital economic engine going all the way back to the 1970s. And it's grown way beyond just nightlife. Now it's about a rich culture of festivals, events, and all kinds of unique travel experiences.
Okay, but let's pivot now. Let's look at the other side of the coin. Because underneath that shiny, welcoming surface, there are some pretty significant cracks in the facade. Real challenges that threaten not only this huge industry, but also the well-being of LGBTQ+ people themselves. Now, to really get the problem here, we need to define a key term: institutionalized discrimination. This isn't about one person being prejudiced against another. No, this is about systemic barriers that are baked right into the country's laws and policies, effectively creating two different systems of rights. And these legal gaps, they create a really unstable, precarious situation. Right now, Thai law just doesn't fully recognize LGBTQ+ human rights in super important areas like family or immigration. Even activism is risky. Pride events can get shut down, and defamation laws have been used to silence people. And here's the kicker. It can even mean an LGBTQ+ person has fewer protected rights if they're arrested. This quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. You can feel the frustration, right? The community is tired of seeing their culture commercialized for tourism, while at the same time being denied real, authentic representation and the basic dignity of equal rights. It's the difference between being a product and being a person. And this isn't just about abstract legal codes written in some book. The research points to a really disturbing trend: an increase in violent crimes and online hate speech targeting the community. This puts people in direct physical danger and eats away at the very reputation that Thailand's tourism industry was built on. So the challenges are pretty clear. The big question is, what's the path forward? The research we're looking at today actually looks ahead to 2030, and it lays out a kind of roadmap for how to navigate these issues and build a genuinely inclusive future. To really understand where Thailand fits in, it helps to look at its neighbors. So while it's way ahead of a country like Malaysia, it's also falling behind Taiwan, which actually legalized same-sex marriage back in 2019. This really shows how Thailand is kind of caught in the middle. Socially, it's pretty open, but legally, it's behind the curve. The research suggests a pretty clear 4-step path forward. First up, legal reform. It's non-negotiable. The laws have to match the marketing. Second, a rights-based approach has to put dignity and safety at the absolute center of every tourism policy. Third, everyone's got to get on the same page and work together: government, businesses, and queer communities. And finally, this can't be a quick fix. It has to be about proactive, long-term, sustainable change.
So what could some of these changes actually look like? Well, some interesting ideas have been put out there. Things like marketing Thailand as verifiably safe, not just saying it is, or creating digital safe zones with QR codes. Other ideas include making an official national LGBTQ+ day and, importantly, providing mandatory tolerance education for everybody working in the tourism industry.
And that brings us to the fundamental question, doesn't it? Can these kinds of initiatives, marketing campaigns, QR codes, special days, can they really make a difference if they aren't built on a solid foundation of real, meaningful legal equality and protection? When you boil it all down, Thailand is at a crossroads. It can keep making a ton of money from its gay-friendly image while kind of ignoring the rights of the very community that image is built on, or it can take the much harder, more courageous step of actually aligning its laws with its values to secure its future.
And so that's the final question we're left with. As we look toward 2030, will Thailand finally close that gap? Will it bring its global image and its national laws into harmony to create a future that isn't just profitable, but is genuinely inclusive, safe, and dignified for all travelers? The world is definitely watching.